All right, Kate, you ready to go?
Absolutely.
Let's start with story number 10, reported by WGME 13 News. So, Kate, have you ever lost something that you really needed, a phone charger or something? You knew you had it, you couldn't find it, you looked everywhere for it, drove you nuts. I think we've all experienced it. Have you had a recent experience with something like that?
I have ADHD, so that happens to me all the time. Yes.
Okay, well then you're gonna be able to relate to some of the people in the story. So police in Belfast, Maine, they were called to a hotel called the Admiral Ocean Inn to remove a drunk guy from the property. They arrived, they found the man. His name was Philip Delude, and they got him to leave. A few hours later, Mr. Delude returned to the hotel, so the police were called again. This time, though, Mr. Duluth thought he was going to be clever. See, he knew that the cops were on their way, and he thought, I'm going to hide from them. Kind of like that phone charger. He's not going to make it easy on the cops. They're going to have to look for him. Fortunately, the police were able to find him. Any idea where Mr. Delude ended up hiding?
In a hotel, I'm gonna say he just hid in his own bed.
He sat in a chair right out front with a blanket over him. Joel, you got the picture? There it is. This really happened. This really happened. So I got to ask you kind of a related thing. As a kid, were you good at hide and seek?
I was pretty good at hide and seek. I had like a somewhat cinematic childhood, so we would play like usually pick up baseball games by day, and then by night it was like a neighborhood wide game of manhunt, which was essentially hide and seek in the dark. I got really good at it because, as outspoken as loud as I am now, I am a little sister, and my older sister was the loud one that made a lot of noise and would get found pretty quickly. So I knew her well enough to know that I could like almost alley-oop myself away from wherever she was. If I'm hiding at the opposite end of something, I had a good chance of hide and seek survival for sure.
Did you just say your sister was the loud one that made a lot of noise?
Believe it or not. Yeah. I was like,
Fascinating.
I was pretty timid until like probably high school when I started to come into my own. And now we just both make a lot of noise. That's not like something that faded from her, but I just kind of blossomed a little later in that regard.
Well, I'm going to make a bold prediction, and my bold prediction is that Philip Delude from Belfast, Maine, sucked as shit at hide and seek as a kid. I'm going to predict that he was always found first.
Yeah, for those of you who are listening in podcast form, it was just a picture of him with literally a sheet over him sitting outside
Outside.
of the hotel, like a toddler trying to play hide and seek. I can't even give that 7 to 8 years old. You're better at it at that point, but
Yeah.
like an errant ghost Halloween costume of some sort that he was wearing.
Maybe that's what he thought. Maybe he's thought, oh, they can't see me now. I'm a ghost now. They can't see me. I'm invisible.
Maybe he was a big Harry Potter fan. He was just like, this is my shroud. Perfect.
All right, let's move on to story number 6, reported by KFDM6 News. So, Kate, have you ever experienced any kind of a burglary or theft?
Not like in a break-in situation, but someone attempted to mug me when I lived in New York, actually.
Okay, I mean, I guess that's the place where that kind of thing would happen. So,
Yeah.
what happened? Like, you discovered it, and what'd you do? Like, punch him in the nose or something?
No, they had and it was at 8 p.m. and I lived in a really safe area. I had my headphones in and my cell phone in my right hand, and at that time, muggers were just going and ripping phones out of people's hands whenever they were exposed, which now is kind of hilarious with like the way that they've taken over society.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought he was going after my purse, so I actually ended up, in a way of protecting myself, keeping my phone and elbowed him off. And because it was 8 p.m. and in a somewhat populated area, he just ran off. But he did mace me. It was terrible. I had to go to the hospital, or pepper sprayed. And like, when you shower and have whatever pepper spray it was, it like activates everything. It was extremely painful. It was really, really rough. And they caught the guy. I'm like one of the few people, I think, in that type of crime that I actually like did the Law and Order thing and went through the window and had to identify people. It was nuts. But
The mugger maced you?
the mugger maced me. Yeah, I think again because it was in a populated area, he didn't want me to be able to see him, but I saw him.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. I was almost expecting you to the next part of the story for you to say that he started yelling for help, like, I'm being attacked.
Well, they did say, like, I slowed him down, which is, I think, what ultimately helped me be able to see him. But they, I guess, work like as a network of like you'll have like 3 guys or whatever. So
Right.
he ran to basically like his safe person and made it look like he was chasing that person when the whole thing was coordinated. And then he went
Interesting.
and committed another crime of the same type in like a doorman building in a lobby after I had already called the cops like 3 blocks over. So
Wow.
they were bad at it and they got caught.
I guess they really needed a cell phone. They were looking to play some Angry Birds or something like you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, they really needed to play Fruit Ninja in that moment or whatever.
Well, according to the Port Arthur Police Department at Port Arthur, Texas, police responded to a residence after security video spotted a person running away from the area. He was dragging a lawnmower with him, but he abandoned it in an alley. They were able to identify him based on the surveillance as Marcus Hubbard. He evaded capture, and at last word, he has an outstanding warrant. Kate, what makes the story interesting? Because so far it sounds like kind of your typical story. Guy steals something, they catch him on surveillance, and now he's kind of wanted. What makes the story interesting?
Uh, did you say lawnmower?
Yes.
Okay. Did he try and steal a lawnmower?
Yes.
That's incredible. Was it a ride-on or like a push mower?
It was a push mower.
That makes it even weirder.
Well, it gets a little bit better because what makes the story more interesting is that prior to stealing the lawnmower, Mr. Hubbard mowed the guy's lawn. Joel, you got the video? All right, so I'm going to talk over this. There he is pulling out the mower right there. Surveillance is catching him. He's taking it out the front. Oh, there he goes onto the lawn right there. And he's cutting the grass, Kate.
My goodness.
Now, in the security footage, Mr. Hubbard is seen, as I just said, entering the property, grabbing the lawnmower, filling it up with gas. He mowed the front and the backyards of the home before leaving the property with the mower. Look at this guy. This has got to be the most considerate, kindest thief
It
that I think
is.
I've ever experienced. And I got to be honest with you, if it was me, if I was this homeowner, I would want to tell Mr. Marcus Hubbard, I'll tell you what, keep the mower. You can have the mower. Just come back every 2 weeks and cut my grass.
There it is. I can only assume he was trying to make it look like it was his mower and he was doing someone a favor, but like in pretending to do that, he really did someone a favor. So
The
good,
front
good on
and
him.
backyards. Yeah. Isn't that fascinating?
That really is.
That'd be like somebody stealing your car, but before they steal it, they wash it, they change the tires, they give
Yeah.
you an oil change, all right there in your own driveway.
So that guy got caught, which means the homeowner probably got his lawnmower back and he got a free he got a free
So,
haircut for the old
well, at
lawn.
last word, they hadn't actually caught him, so they identified him from
Oh,
the surveillance, but
gotcha.
he had evaded capture at last word. Maybe they have him now as we're doing this, but that's
We
what
can
happened.
only hope.
And like push mowers aren't worth a lot of money. You know what I'm
They're
saying?
really not. Yeah, that's
No.
weird.
So I definitely, if by any chance the homeowner sees this, and you won't, but if by any chance the homeowner sees this, tell them keep the mower, just come back, every couple
Yeah,
of weeks, and then after that, it's all yours. Do with it what you want.
that's it. Just come back on like a bi-weekly basis and we're good to go.
Right, right. I'll provide the gas. Even
Yeah,
I'll
there
provide the
you
gas.
go.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I click the subscribe button. You really should too. If you like videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, subscribe now.